What's up guys, Matthew here, Go Tips. Just bringing you another little tutorial to save you a little bit of cash, because all the name brand stuff is just crazy expensive. Now I'm going to show you how to do your own bodyboard mount. It's really simple and easy, and it's pennies to the dollar. Compare this to the GoPro price of $19.99, you will save about 15 bucks, maybe 10 bucks. You have to get the GoPro tripod mount. I use the one that's got the buckle attachment to it just because it's my preference, you know. Whenever I have it mounted, I could switch it real quickly from facing me to facing away from me if I choose to. Then what you're going to need is, you're actually going to need a couple of bolts. But I just took this off my bodyboard, so I only have one bolt. And then what you're going to need is a piece of tubing that's going to fit onto this bolt. Then what you would need is, you actually need 2 stainless steel washers and 2 rubber washers, and you're going to need a little wrench. Now you're also going to need a screwdriver for this. Because you're going to have to poke a hole in your boogie board. I already poked a hole, so that's why I don't have the screwdriver in this demonstration. But there's 2 types of boogie boards. There's boogie boards that you can get that are all foam all the way through, and then there's a boogie board like mine that's foam on the top, but on the bottom it's like a hard plastic type. So keep that in mind whenever you're making this, because you don't want to mess up your bodyboard whenever you poke the hole with the screwdriver. If you have a boogie board like mine, you're going to want to poke the hole in through the bottom. And if you have one that's all foam all the way through, it doesn't matter which side that you poke the hole into. The reason why, if you have one like mine, that you want to poke through the bottom is because this plastic is pretty much glued to the foam. And if you come through the top, out the bottom, then it could push the plastic bottom off of the foam, resulting in some damage. I already have some damage right here, but that's just because I crash a lot. Now, after you have everything poked through, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a bolt that's about 3 different bolts, just because, as you can see, as you keep tightening the bolt down onto the tripod mount, it compresses the foam, and it takes a few days to get it fully compressed to where the mount is going to stay nice and tight. So just keep that in mind whenever you go out and buy a bolt. Make sure that you get at least 2 or 3 of them. And so what you're going to want to do is, you're going to want to take the plastic tubing that you have, and you're going to want to slide it onto the bolt, just like that. Now the plastic tubing is going to keep the foam protected. Whenever you slide this in, or when you're riding the waves, it's going to keep it protected from scratching the foam and making the hole a lot bigger and eventually falling out. So this is going to keep it nice and safe. I actually missed this step, so let me back up. Before you put the tubing on, you'll actually take the metal washer. You can tell it's metal because it's all rusty. Take that. Then what you're going to want to put on is one of the rubber washers. And then you're going to want to put on the tubing. I apologize for missing that little tidbit right there. So it's going to look like this. So just like that, with the 2 washers and then the tubing. And then once you have everything set up like that, you're going to want to take your boogie board and you're going to want to put it towards the bottom like that, and then all you're going to want to do is push it through and then flip it over, And now you're going to have just a little piece of the screw sticking out. It'll actually be smaller than that, but whenever it's not compressed is whenever it shows a little tinier than this. It'll just be like 1 or 2 threads that are actually sticking out when you first do it. And this, I'll tell you right now why you need the extra bolts is because you'll start out with a longer bolt, and then as you tighten it down all the way with the tripod mount on there, it'll compress the foam. And as it keeps compressing the foam, it's going to be really loose up top. So by the time you use about the 3rd or 4th bolt, it'll be compacted all the way on the top and the bottom. And then whenever you get to where you move it and it's not wiggling, that's whenever you want to keep it exactly how it is. I went through 3 bolts. I started off with a 3-inch bolt, and then I went down to 2.5, and this one is a 2-inch bolt. And just a little side note, whenever you go to drill in, whenever you go to poke the hole for this bolt, do it above the leash area. You can do it anywhere up here, as long as it's above the leash area. I've seen people with it mounted on the side, so they get a little side angle, and it looks really cool. I just did mine straight on. So once you get it pushed through with the bolt, you're going to want to put on the other rubber washer. Then you're going to want to take your GoPro mount, line it up, screw it on, and I'm not going to show you in the video, but whenever you're doing this at home, you'll take the wrench and then you'll just hold the tripod mount underneath and just tighten it down as tight as it'll go. And then you got a nice sturdy non-movable body board mount for pennies on the dollar. And I'm telling you guys, $19.99 for the exact same thing is not worth it. The bolt cost me a couple of cents. The washers, probably 50 cents for the 2-pack of rubber washers. The metal washer was probably 25 cents. The most expensive thing on here was the GoPro tripod mount, which cost me, I think it was $7.99. Even the rubber tubing was like 5 cents because I only had a little piece. So let's just say this mount cost $10 compared to $19.99 from GoPro and competitors. So that's at least a 50% savings that you're going to have going this way compared to buying it already made. The only thing that I was nervous about whenever I did this was poking the hole for the bolt. I had never done it before, so I was a little scared that I'd mess something up, but as you could tell, it's fine. It works perfect. I'm real happy with it. I don't use it a lot, but whenever I do use it, I'm real happy with it. So that'll do it for this video. Rate, comment, subscribe so you can check out all my other videos, and I'll see you guys later.